Hey everybody, this is Cami Westall, and welcome to our U.S. history course that meets online. I hope this will be a great semester for all of you as you get started. And I just wanted to do a little bit of an overview to help you sort of get your feet wet, especially if this is your first online class. Just a little bit about me to get going. I like to be outdoors, sort of an outdoorsy person, like sports, a little bit of a tomboy. So I've enjoyed these types of activities. I'm from Asheville, North Carolina originally. Went to Presbyterian as an undergrad, go Blue Hose, and then went to grad school at the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. So hopefully Bama will be picking up their 16th national championship this season, but we'll see how that goes. So I like to, again, be outside, pretend that I know how to take pictures, some better than others, but enjoy doing that kind of stuff in my free time. And then I enjoy history a lot too. So anytime any of the material is unclear, give me a call or send me an email through D2L, and I'm more than happy to try to explain something that you might not be able to get as well out of the book. Speaking of the book, here it is. And I posted a note on this on the home page, but they did make us switch to the second edition this year. So the one last year I think was kind of, the year or two before that was kind of yellow or tan maybe. This one has more white on it and one picture in the center, but make sure it's volume 1. That's going to be a big deal. So make sure it's volume 1 and not volume 2. Volume 1 to 1877. And that second edition, again, I suppose you can get by with the first edition. I'm not going to make any special accommodations or anything like that. I did post online the companion website on the book so you can see where the chapters might be different. I think the first few are okay, and after that it changes some. So that's second edition of volume 1 for the textbook. And so that was all I had of that and me. Let's go ahead and log on to D2L here. I think I'll use Google Chrome. I've been getting mad at D2L and Internet Explorer with all these little secure boxes. Just to show you some of the info here. Since we're 201, I'm going to log on as a student here, so you can see this. So again, a note for me, always check this news tab. I'm not going to post stuff up every day by any means, but key information I'll post there. I'll try to maybe change the color, so if you get used to seeing this brown or dark red or whatever this is, if you suddenly log on and see green or blue or purple, then it's a different news item to pay attention to. Class list, you can see everybody here. We'll pick on Mr. Bird. I like Mr. Bird. I've had him before, so hello to you, Dion Bird, if you're watching, which you probably will, because he's a great student. So information about one another, and so put up a picture if you can. I kind of like to see, at least I can say, I don't know, it's kind of nice to help a personal touch to have some sort of picture instead of just being a little gray blurb. Content is where you're going to be spending a lot of time. Hopefully, a lot of you have already completed the syllabus quiz, and that's great, but we've got our syllabus here. So let me hit a few highlights here. Of course, the textbook. Proctored exam. Okay, this is going to be key. It's a requirement at the college that any online class have at least one proctored final exam. Or one proctored exam. It doesn't have to be the final, but for this class it is. So the final, the first few tests you can take on your own at home. The final, it's password restricted, and so your proctor will have that password. There are instructions on the content tab of how to arrange for that there. And so it's easier to do if you're by Greenwood or one of our county centers. If you live farther out, you might have to pay a fee, but you'll need to get it approved by the college. Okay, so know that proctored final exam is coming up. The accreditation agency that helps us. We can't get financial aid without it and whatnot. Sometimes you see these ads for a profit college like Brown Mackey or something like that advertised online or on TV, and they're expensive and people have a hard time getting jobs afterward because a lot of these for-profit institutions are not accredited by the national accreditation agencies. So what the accreditation agency that helps us get financial aid and whatnot for students wants to see is that after this course you'll be able to communicate better and more effectively through written responses. You can have better problem solving techniques, and you can demonstrate better computer skills through D2L since this is an online class. And kind of what we'll be going through. Attendance for online, you're expected to do the introductory activities, the intro discussion, and attend. Usually you should log on at least once a week. On that, the last date to withdraw from this course or any other that you might be struggling with is November 25th. So after that, you cannot get a grade of W. So you need to take initiative with that. Honor code, you're not having your BFF sign on and take a test for you or anything like that. You're not going to cheat. You will follow the rules. Section for anyone with accommodations. As of today, August 22nd, 2013, I have not gotten any forms or paperwork for anyone who has any special needs or needs special arrangements made due to any disabilities. So if you do, you might need to contact Brenda Daly. Grade breakdown. So the tests, first two are 10% each. No books or notes ever on the test. You got a couple of quizzes based on videos, and those are each 5%. I'll provide the links for those. So it's a video you'll watch online. They are not yet posted under the content tab. And then a journal paper. What I will do is post pretty soon within the next few days a list of options of different what's known as primary sources, actual historical documents. So journals, memoirs, diaries, narratives from a lot are from former slaves, a lot are from Civil War soldiers. You looking into this person's life and doing the history work. That's what historians do. They look at primary sources and try to piece bits of the larger story together. So that journal paper due in November is 15%. Kind of weekly discussions. A fairly easygoing, except I do not tolerate lying or plagiarism or cheating. It is very tempting on an online class for a lot of people to copy someone else's work, and that doesn't fly. It's very easy to catch. If you do it once, that assignment is a 0. If you do it twice, you fail the course, and I have no problem submitting a name for academic misconduct to the vice president of the college. Okay, so do not copy. What you need to prove that you have learned something. Again, so the definition is submitting all or part of someone else's work. So if you say, that person wrote these couple of sentences better, I'm just going to intersperse those, that is plagiarism. You're copying what that person did. You're not showing that you understand it. You're showing that you know how to copy and paste what someone else already wrote. Don't do it. And we'll get along fine if you don't do that. Then kind of the schedule, basic schedule of when things are due. Or sort of the last date when discussions are due. You can also follow along with this checklist. Again, it's not a mandatory thing, but this is what, for some people, you can just kind of check off to say, okay, I did the intro discussion, the syllabus quiz, when chapter 2 discussion is open, I've done that. Kind of keep along, but that checklist is also available there. So after you've read the syllabus and all the policies, you need to submit the syllabus quiz. It's just 5 little questions, shouldn't take long. Basically just verifying that you are the person that you say you are. So all that's under contents. If you were confused about plagiarism, there's a little brief little video that you can watch on that. So I encourage you to look at that. Another thing to note is that I can see everything that you do on D2L. So, you know, even not too long ago, there was a student who said, "Oh, Ms. Westall, I just know I submitted that second test, and how about you let me take it again since D2L must have swallowed it up or something." And I could email back and say, "Oh, well, that's interesting because you didn't log on for 10 days and the test was due right in the middle of that time period." So I can see what you do. But it's good if you don't have to watch this, but if you're a little confused about plagiarism and what it is, since that's a pretty serious offense, you can watch that. Your essays, the test essays, will be graded based on this rubric, and so you can kind of be, I'll have some more information posted before the first test, but basically there are points, a set amount of points available for each one, so you can kind of see what's going to be expected of you from those. What else is under content? Office hours, I forgot to put my actual office number, which would be helpful. But if you're ever on the Greenwood campus, come by. My office is in the K building in room 149, so right below the library, if you're familiar with the Greenwood campus. Then some basic D2L tips. If this is your first foray into D2L. I've posted here just to be kind of helpful. I'll probably also post some chapter review videos, but I have a variety of these narrated PowerPoints. It's just through Hippocampus. Some of you might be familiar with these with other courses. I think Dr. Smoke uses them for biology here at Piedmont Tech. But this is just another tool to kind of give you, instead of all the time with the book, some of the information that might be highlighted, just another way to get some information that's a little more visual, audio.
The British victory opened new territory for exploration and expansion, but it also...
That kind of exciting radio type of voice. So some little things that aren't too long to help you if something is unclear. So just some resources to take advantage of there. Discussions. Notice that there's not an introduction discussion here because I have not completed the syllabus quiz. When you complete the syllabus quiz, as many of you have done, but not everybody at this point. Okay, I'm going to start it. I am that person. I do understand that there is an online attendance policy, and if I'm not logging on and doing the work, then I can get dropped. I do understand that the honor code applies, and it's a pretty serious thing. I understand the grade breakdown, and I understand this. I do recommend when you get to the tests, I'm just doing this quickly, it doesn't take a lot of extra work to just save each response, and you can see, it doesn't reload the page or anything, and that's a good thing to do if there's going to be some sort of technological catastrophe when you take your test. I'm submitting my quiz. Alright, so my quiz is submitted, and I got a 100, and I can always keep track of my grades. Right here I see that I've got a 100 out of 100 on that. So now that I've completed it, I have my introductory discussion that's open. So you need to do the intro discussion and complete that, getting us more information. After that, future discussions should be between 400 and 800 words. These are designed, again, to see, I'm looking for two things. To see that you read the material and to see that you're actually thinking about it. You don't have to use or be citing other websites or anything else. You don't have to worry about using little footnotes or anything. I just want to see that you're reading the material and that you're thinking about the material. And if you do that and you get it in the word length and you use paragraphs, please do use paragraphs, don't write just one big chunk, then it's designed to be a 100 for you, okay? So it's just a way to help hold you accountable, because it's tough in online classes. You guys have to be self-disciplined if you haven't done an online class before. It's difficult to stay motivated. You don't have someone right in your face telling you when things are due. So the way people fail is not just from bombing all the assignments, but from not doing stuff primarily, from getting behind and missing out on assignments, and that is going to get you in trouble. So keep up with this stuff, keep up with the readings. Again, these aren't research papers here with these discussions that are due. I will drop the lowest one so that lets you have 1 week off from those, but those are available. So get familiar with that discussion tab and don't copy from a website. When you take the quizzes and tests, you'll do that here, as I went to before. But that's, again, just kind of a very basic overview. Again, content is where you'll spend a lot of time. You can always keep track of your grades, and your quizzes are there as well. But hopefully this will be a great semester. Just keep up with the work, stay diligent. And hopefully we cover a lot of great stuff in here. It's still pertinent today, the Civil War, the tragedies of slavery, the American Revolution, and people who took very brave stances with the Constitution and Declaration of Independence, acquiring lots of land. So we've got some neat people to see, some major events, and hopefully, a lot of people think history is just about memorizing a bunch of facts, but hopefully you can see, even if you're a cinematic fan, so many recent movies that have been popular and Academy Award winners like Argo or Titanic or The King's Speech are all based on history and people's stories. And hopefully you'll see that these are people who have weird haircuts and are dead, but they think. There's a common sort of psychology in the way people think, and they think and behave a lot of times in ways that we do. So hopefully those personal stories will stand out to you some as we move along. So have a great semester, and I'll see you in the cyber world.